Welcome once again. It's a blessed day, the day of the Lord. And once again, this Africa's Talking podcast in collaboration with Impact Masters Podcasts, coming live to you, bringing you movers and shakers in tech ecosystem across Africa. And today is another beautiful day. Africa's Talking brings you communication tools such as USSD, SMS, airtime, data, and voice. Check them out at africastalking.com, empowering developers across Africa and beyond. And in tech, there are so many moving pieces, startups, big tech, telco, government policy, tech event, tech summits. And today we'll be covering interesting aspect about tech. And that's where people have conversations of different levels. And that's why we have this space. So today we have one of our guests, Victor Agolla Otieno MBA. In entrepreneurship, Chief has done BCOM, CPAK, is the County Chief Officer Digital Economy and Startups at Nairobi City County Government. Here he leads the sector in developing and implementing support programs for startups, as well as digitization of SMEs.
Nice.
Victor is deeply passionate about the African entrepreneur and has so far worked with over 400 organizations in over 5 African countries in East and Southern Africa. Victor has worked with over 400 partner organizations, including international and regional NGOs, universities, government agencies, and parastatals, private companies, community organizations, amongst others. Victor advises on and provides research support to entrepreneur support organizations, SME policy organs, SMEs, and startups. And today we have a special host, Graham Ingehomhanga, SVP Marketing, Partnership, and Growth at Africa's Talking. And my name is Michael Kimathi, or MK if you want. I'll be your chief host today. I head the developer community there at Africa's Talking, and I love people. But without further ado, Chief, how are you, Victor?
Niko salama sana.
You're good?
I'm very good.
It's a beautiful morning, right?
I'm telling you.
Yes.
A bit chilly, but we're keeping on.
Yeah. So we normally say an African man's story cannot be told without a proper introduction from the same person. We can say all things, but the person knows their story better. And whatever I've read is just, an overview. So that does not entail you. Who is Victor Agolla? And please feel free to go all the way back, and then you can get us to where we are.
Yeah, so Victor Otieno Agolla currently is the Chief Officer for Digital Economy and Startups at Nairobi City County. Mm-hmm. I think as you've rightly put, as you are doing your DJ and introducing me, is that we are just looking as a county government to be able to support innovation.
Yeah.
Because we believe innovation is the key to unlocking our challenges around poverty and jobs.
Yeah.
So that's my primary role. So that we're just looking at the different moving parts within the tech ecosystem in Nairobi, and seeing how we can be able to coordinate that to allow our young people to get economic opportunities.
Yes.
Which is something that His Excellency the Governor of Nairobi is deeply passionate about. So I'm born and bred in Nairobi.
Which side in Nairobi?
I was born in Huruma Estate.
Okay.
Nice.
Did my primary school at Salama Primary School.
Yeah.
Went to Sleep Boys a bit. I did a bit, obviously. Then my mom thought this guy is going to be spoiled in Nairobi. He needs to get a bit of discipline. So they decided together with my mzee to throw me all the way to Western Province to get hardened. I mean, so I did my stint in Nyangori High School. Finished that around 2004. Then, of course, just joined the Kiwanja, just like every other young guy.
You're just passing through your story, Chief. You know, life is made of memories.
True.
And you might be surprised what you're doing right now with the county, you know, tech innovation, startup. You might think it's something that maybe came about when you started working for the county, right? But you might be surprised your primary school experience or your nursery school or kindergarten, if you went to kindergarten, shaped the whole journey. That's why when I have a conversation with the, you know, tech movers and shakers, I love to go all the way back, you know, which nursery school did you go to? What is the one thing that you don't forget about that primary school? You know, did you have friends there? What was the hardest experience there or the best experience that you don't forget? Even one of the teachers could actually influence some of the decision making that you make in adulthood that actually comes as a subconscious experience. So I don't know if you have those special experiences going through, you know, school and interacting with the community.
Yeah, I mean, in primary school for us, what I learned is life is never that serious.
Yeah.
You know, the way you read, like, you know, you're putting your legs in cold water in a bucket. I
so
mean,
you don't sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think my experience from primary school is, life is a balance. So we used to play soccer at Maisa the whole day. I mean, then
Madare Youth.
Yeah, Madare Youth. So we used to play. I played for Maisa for I think my entire youth. So and at the same time I used to go to school. So I mean, so that's the balance that I saw. Which even now, you know, even as I work, my work is not my life.
Yeah.
I report to work. I do what I need to do, but ultimately I need to have fun. I need to chill. I mean, just being able to balance. But switching off to high school, the only thing I learned as I went to Nyangori High School is
Nyangori is
in Western.
Yeah.
It's in Vihiga. So I mean, coming from Nairobi,
that was a mile.
I mean, coming from
Nairobi to all the way to
it
Western.
It is a very humbling experience.
Yeah.
You know, not to take a shower for a week.
Allah.
Because there's no water.
There's no water.
You have to go to the river.
I mean, eating nyama for once a week. I mean, you really value the simple things of life. You know, even as you scale through life and get a lot of things, wealth, money, etc., you realize that, I mean, it's the simple things in life that bring you joy. Like taking a shower in high school was like a miracle moment.
Because there are no hot showers.
There's
no water.
There's no water.
There's scarce water. There's water, but it's scarce. You know, the hot water, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's humbling in the sense that even as you scale through life, you know, you realize that life is composed and joy and happiness is in very minute, simple things that you do. So, I mean, don't get it twisted. You know, as you get power, you get money, etc. I mean, just the simple things of life. Up to now, I eat in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It is something that was ingrained in me in high school. We used to eat 5 minutes maximum, and you run back to class.
Why was that?
That is Nyangori.
Why did you?
Time wastage. You need to pass exams. I
The
mean,
exam is the main thing.
You need to be disciplined. So even up to now, I eat in less than 5 minutes. Not in a hurry.
Yeah.
I'm just used in eating 5 minutes. I go back to work.
Yes.
So those are some of the stuff that I learned at least from Nyangori. So coming from Nairobi, you know, Nairobi venye unaishi mtaani tu. Then you unaenda Western, unapata guys are serious with life. I mean, that discipline up to now is really what keeps me going. Yeah.
So in high school, I know there's monolization. Were you monolized?
No. Mimi nimetoka Eastlands mzai.
So you're the guy who was monolizing others?
No, as in you could see me, and of course, you know, I had a big body. So immediately I joined in. The principal took me, and it was like rugby or football. Once you join rugby or football, there's nothing called monolization for you.
Oh, that's nice.
You have the seniors protecting you.
I mean, unaingia na misuli tizi kila siku.
Okay.
I mean, it's a breeze.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. But did you monolize others?
No.
Yeah.
That's not in my character.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But people are monolized.
Of course, in high school, those days, I mean, if you can't stand up for yourself,
Yeah.
if you're an introvert, I mean, there is very little room for introverts within. By then, I think it was like you have to be loud, you have to be either a sports person or join a grouping of sorts, or you are, I mean, a genius. So you get comfort.
It's high school.
Yeah,
man.
you
have
get
to take a
comfort.
place.
you get comfort in getting into some of these groups. So given that I was balanced in terms of academics, so combined that with sports, and of course with my loud character, nowadays I've toned down.
So you say.
I married a tighter lady. I can tone down.
Okay.
Otherwise, I was
Cool down. Life is not about noise.
You forgot one other option. In high school, you also could be a very good sweet talker of ladies.
Hey.
That was also like either you're in sports, you're smart, or you can talk to the girls.
Now that you're talking about girls,
in Western.
how are you with girls?
Well, in Western, tulienda kusoma. The main thing was cheza rugby, play football, or soma. I mean, tulikuwa tunakuja, we used to see the girls when tunarudi in Nairobi.
So hakuna ruka fence huko.
Ilikuwa ni kuruka kutafuta chakula. Kutafuta chakula. Huko ni Western, huko ni Western. Victor, Western ni chai na mandazi.
That's it. So you guys, when you went for these rugby sessions, I know you know ladies like rugby guys. Didn't get some attention?
I mean, hiyo AJ kwa vibe yangu.
It wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing. I mean, for me, it was reading because I mean, I love reading. I don't read because I want to pass exams. Up to now, I love reading. I love reading different stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, history, science, biology, whatever. So that really kept me going.
Yeah.
I mean, so with that, academics and sports.
Yes.
I mean, there was no time for doing a lot of stuff. And one of the things you'll notice is I also got married early.
Oh, okay. In high school?
No, not that early. So I got married at 25 years old. My wife was 23 years old. Wow. So we've been married for 11 years.
Wow.
Hey,
so congratulations.
Concentration.
This is during college, right?
And focus.
So actually, I didn't go through college in the typical way in which a lot of young guys did.
Okay.
Of course, kama natoka Islands, my mom is retired as a government driver.
Okay.
So of course, hakuna.
Your mom was a government driver.
I'm retired kama dere.
Interesting.
So unaget hakuna. There's no resources around for you to kill
the luxury
around.
of
Hakuna. Ilikuwa ni kuwa daktari, kuwa engineer, kama ukui hammer.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, so I started immediately after high school, of course, kupiga chuma kidogo.
Okay.
Buru, but started working and doing evening classes as I pay. So I worked during the day, paid school fees at Strath in the evening. So then I was doing
and Strath
CPA.
has a rugby.
Yes. So I played football na kinaweche huko at
nice.
Strath.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean that's why I did my CPAs, finished, then did BCOM. So throughout that time,
So you started with CPA.
Yeah, I started with CPA, then did BCOM. So throughout that time, I was working.
Okay.
So that means that you don't have time for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
So ikabidi tumeoa mapema.
Okay.
Pange mambo yako mapema.
All right. What really advised you to marry at an early?
I mean, it's just perspective. The way you sit down and you're like, when you're broke, reality checks in very fast.
Yeah.
So you don't have the luxury of, doing too many stuff. So you just focus on the most important things. So,
Yes.
I mean, so I was in church and, serving in church. And, you are looking at this lady. She's a beautiful lady. She has a very beautiful soul. And I'm like, nangoja nini?
Let me ask you this, Victor, because this is interesting even for young guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's only one lady you saw in your life, and that was it.
I see where you're
So
going.
this could be a classic case.
So I tried, I dated one chick.
Oh, okay.
But that was it. I'm not, it's like ADHD. To get even to understand sitting down with Victor is very difficult. Even my brothers, my sisters, my folks.
Yeah.
The way I think fast. I execute things very fast. So I mean, you even sitting with someone who can be able to understand that is very difficult. So
True.
if you're meeting a 22-year-old, 21-year-old young girl in Nairobi,
Yeah.
you tell her, I want to marry you. they'll be like, whoa, boss.
Wait a minute.
You're too serious. Chill.
I haven't eaten your fare.
I mean, so you're looking at the things that God has in store for you in terms of plans. I'm like, if I don't settle down, I can't be able to do.
You can't be focused.
I mean, man, as in ukiwa boy ni ngumu sana concentrate.
In fact, today's Nairobi, you have to say that's easy. I need the grace of when Victor here to get married. Yes,
Graham can tell you it's not easy.
It's not easy, but I always say sometimes even as men, and it goes down to the things that you consume in terms of content, in terms of TV, in terms of music.
Interesting.
Because if you're growing up listening to hip hop, violence, R&B, I mean those stuff have a way in which they get into.
They just come out of your life.
Yeah. So I mean it informs the way you think, the way you see your worldview of women. etc. So if it's degrading in a sense, then you'll never get the kind of lady that you need for you.
Yeah.
So I mean, being able to clean up the content that you read gives you very clear perspective in terms of I see this woman, I honor her, and I feel that this lady can be able to support me.
Hey, Chief, this chief should run a men's conference.
Please. By the way, we have something that is not officially confirmed in November, but we'll keep tabs to ensure that we talk about these things.
I have a story I'm telling you. I can tell you I'm Luo, so of course I married at Taita, and of course after elections, because I got.
How was the clash of cultures? First
we completely got a full rejection. Complete full rejection. Of course, we've reconciled over time.
People got used to it. They saw you are already very happy.
They're not used. They're not. There is a caliber. There's a certain generation in Kenya that will never get used to that. Even right now, if you look at our electioneering cycles, there's always that tinge, that flavor of negative.
Not from my side of the country. So, I can't vote.
So I mean, you get hit with that as you're getting married. It's good. It can be good or bad, but for us, it strengthened our marriage. My firstborn son is called Engineer Zuriel.
Nice.
He's autistic.
Engineer is one of his name.
Of course.
Allah.
Nice.
You say.
I mean, we have to baptize him engineer. So yes. I mean, so he's autistic. So I mean, that journey itself also, it really narrows down. It clears your perspective in terms of life. So I mean, doesn't matter where you go. I mean, just remain humble.
Yeah.
Kids don't. It's not that like they need money. They just need time.
Yes.
They need your presence. Yeah. So I mean, you can be wherever, you can be the president.
No matter how successful.
But when you're at home, you are my dad.
They don't care. It's not even when you're at home. Your entire program has to be around him. If you know autism, you know it's straight jacket.
Please speak more about that, because
by the way,
this is news to most people.
Yeah, so I mean, so autism is just, I can't define it scientifically, because even for us it's a journey.
Yeah.
But it's just a child who has challenges, mental challenges to some degree.
Yeah.
And it's a spectrum of sorts. So if you, on one hand, you can have someone who has attention deficit disorder.
Okay.
On the other hand, you can have someone with Down syndrome. So those are almost like extreme cases. So that's why it's called a spectrum. So I mean, so just being able to understand that, and this is Africa, so guys are like,
what's going on?
I mean, is your kid akona amerogwa? Is there witchcraft? I mean, those kind of stuff. So I mean, so if you're not,
there's dealing with that, and then just being a good parent to this.
I mean, just if you're not grounded, you will be cooked. That I can guarantee you'll be cooked. He has echolalia. We take him to Kenyatta. You tell him how are you, and akwambia how are you. So his brain can't process that. How are you means I need to respond. So how do you train his brain to be able to start responding and being able to interact with other human beings?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy would poop on himself in the middle of a mall. I mean, they are not verbal. So they are. I mean, for us, we've been very, very blessed that God gave us the patience to and continue to give us the patience. I mean, to be able to just manage that as well as follow your dreams. So sometimes is that it by itself can stop you immediately, and you just lose it or even lose your marriage. So I mean, it's a journey. We enjoy it. I'm not saying. I mean, you need to be able to have the shock
grace,
absorbers.
the grace.
But for me, like it's a challenge that God gave us, and I mean, we are just taking it a day at a time.
True.
Enjoy life.
And true to his word, when we requested Victor if he could have a session with us, he told us, I'm available between 8 and 5 p.m. right? And nothing can change that.
So there's a tight program that we run. So like right now they're in they're on the long holidays.
Yes.
But every day.
So he goes to school, right?
Yeah, he goes to school. So one of the things that we got from Kenyatta, and we are super grateful to Kenyatta Hospital.
Because even like Kenyatta family or
Kenyatta Hospital. I mean, so we tried getting diagnosis.
Okay.
So like, you get married, you're young, you expect, boys are like, they grow slowly. So we didn't pick that up. Boys are a bit slow in terms of
compared to girls.
Yeah.
So
actually, that's another situation.
So my wife was like, hey, this guy is not growing, he's not hitting milestones.
Yes.
So even getting the diagnosis in Kenya is very difficult. So we went to different private hospitals. What they do is they milk you. I mean, it's a cycle.
They take advantage because most of the hospitals, and it has to be said the way it is, because also it's from the county.
Yes.
Most of the hospitals nowadays just pure business.
Yes.
If you're not careful, you might
even
get
the drugs that you'll be
misdiagnosed.
given. They're just pushing our sale.
Exactly.
So we were told, hey boss, just go to Kenyatta Hospital. We pangered a line there for 3 hours, waiting for this doki. There is no equipment. There is no nothing.
The doki is the next compound.
No. But she's a specialist. She doesn't need equipment. She doesn't need anything. She just sat down, talked to the guy, gave him a paper to see if there is hand motor skills, and he said, "This is autism. Don't blame yourself."
At what age?
3.
So what would you advise a new parent in terms of something that they can look at a kid who is maybe young? I don't know at what age.
I mean, for men it's difficult. So for my wife, when you give birth, they give you this chart with milestones. So they should hit this weight.
They go and get weighed. They need to be here.
Yeah, so like women are very good at that.
All right.
I mean, men, you just breeze through life. Go look for school fees. Go look for rent and stuff. I mean. But I mean, if you can be able to take a step back, and especially with this society, things are moving quite fast.
Yeah.
So if you can be able to take a step back and just monitor, observe, look at the child, you can be able to pick up some of these challenges. And I mean, don't try to hide. The reality. I mean, if you have a sick child or a child who has any mental challenges, I mean, it's just. It's the whatever you've been given by God.
What God has decided.
So it could be that God wants you to learn patience.
True.
In that period of time, I have learned to be patient. I mean, you can scream the whole day here, and I would still work. As long as you're not dead, or you're not, even if you break a bone, I mean, it's fine. We'll take you to OC. But I mean, just patience.
Wow.
So I mean, like I said, I think we went to Kenyatta, and they were like, you just need to monitor his diet. He's a kid. You can't say you won't give him sweets. You can't give him crepes. I mean, you need to just find a way in which you're able to balance. Make sure he does quite a bit of exercises to reduce his hyperactivity.
So he's a bit hyper.
Autism is hyperness and tantrum. So someone would think that this is a kid that is not disciplined. I mean, it's just diet, remove carbs, just have a balanced diet, do a lot of exercise. That's why I have 5 dogs.
Okay.
I mean, so
can run around.
The dogs would bite him, and it would really frustrate him and bring the speech. So the dog is nyanyuring this guy is like,
but they know him. It doesn't bite.
So I bought the dogs when he was young. So when they were puppies, so that we can be able to. I moved to Machakos so that we can get space.
Yes, a compound.
Because when he runs, you don't want him near a road or anything. So I mean, we can walk for 3 hours.
Interesting.
By the time he's done,
his energy is
tired.
down.
Then we can start having conversations. So it's an entire journey by itself, just learning autism and how to deal with it.
Yes.
I mean, even going to school was like, I mean, don't even look at academics.
Yes.
Let him just know how to interact.
The social experience.
Yeah, I mean, just express himself. Pole pole. I mean, it's we've gotten very good support from different schools. I mean, the first thing that I always say is, you go to school and I'm like, I have a son who's on the spectrum. Please, what kind of support? I'm not expecting 100% support. I'm not giving you 100% responsibility, but can you be able to support us in this journey? So I mean, we've had very good teachers, very good support system.
Yeah.
And so it's going to year 4.
Oh, okay.
nice.
Yeah,
So is this a special school or just normal school?
No, just normal school.
Ah,
I
very
mean, you don't
nice.
want to stigmatize.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's
that-
very important because
Yeah.
anyone who gets a child with a challenge, the first thing they think is about special school, special attention.
We went through that entire
that,
journey.
yeah.
So
Okay.
do we go this? Do we do this? So when we went to Kenyatta, she was like, he's autistic, but just let him go through normal life, as much normalcy as possible. So I mean, so we took him to school, sit, and surprisingly enough, I didn't expect him to do well.
Yeah.
So there is no expectation.
Oh, yeah.
Then the guy is, he knows French. And I'm like, hey, me, I don't know French. I tried.
Chief, this is good, yeah?
I mean, of course, he struggles with some arithmetic stuff, but mostly, by and large,
But it could be, that's an interesting thing
Yeah.
I realized from how people go to school. The first years, maybe in primary or whatever, someone might look like they don't understand maths. They could end up being the maths genius in high school or later. So it's just giving people their time to grow into whatever they're supposed to be.
I mean, that's why I told you. For me, it's just living life very simply. I mean, there are no goals. I mean, for me, I always say, just enjoy yourself. If you're going swimming, if you're playing football, if you're reading, just enjoy yourself. I mean, just find yourself. And we'll support you no matter what. So if you want to be a swimmer, fine. The other day we went for swimming. I think alikuwa number last.
Okay.
I told him, boss, you showed
You
up.
have started.
You showed up.
Yes.
Just
That's
show
the most
up.
important
I mean,
thing.
show up. Do your best. Whatever results that you give, we will be able to pick.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Victor.
Wow.
And for our listeners, today we are here at Nairobi Garage. Nairobi Garage is a co-working space. They support startups. So if you don't have a budget to get an office in Nairobi, it's one of the spaces that you can check out. That's where we are hosting this podcast. And please check them out. They have different locations. And of course, they are able to give you more details about the space.